Tonight on Hotspot, Southern Highlands gears up for the 2018 PNG Games.
Your commitment to support PNG Games in Southern Highlands in 2018.
We profile one of the veterans in rugby union, Kague-Erave.
I'm actually quietly confident in how these guys have been training, their preparation so far.
In soccer, PNG FA announces the under-23 men's squad, as well as we preview another round of the Telecom National Soccer League. In bowling, the Defence Bowling Club sees a couple of young guns try out the sport. And as always, we'll wrap up the show with our weekend draws. Good night, and thank you for joining me tonight on Hotspot. Months after winning the bid to host the 2018 PNG Games, the Southern Highlands Board have begun their preparations. The board is embarking on a public-private partnership in constructing sports venues for the Games.
Months after winning the bid against Eastern Highlands and NCD to host the 2018 PNG Games, the Southern Highlands Board have begun their campaign for the 2018 PNG Games.
Southern Highlands really does not have, the facilities as we've been talking about. But we produced very good sportsmen and women. Very good example, a son of Kague-Erave sitting here, Mr. Sterling Index. Many Muluks have done very, very well. Hela women, not to forget them. They were part of Southern Highlands before, but they've done very well last year, this year, as the game is going on. I thank all the businessmen, all the elite of Southern Highlands in coming behind this board to support, to give back to Southern Highlands your support. We know you all are living outside of Southern Highlands, but you still think of us. I think the people in the districts, in the province, will really appreciate what you have done today. Your commitment to support PNG Games in Southern Highlands in 2018.
As part of the initiative to build a public-private partnership, the board, consisting of respective CEOs from Ialibu-Pangi, Mendi Open, Imbongu, Nipa-Kutubu, Kague-Erave, have agreed to engage local contractors in the province to construct respective venues. An estimated 9 million kina will be needed to refurbish existing facilities and build new sports venues in the province.
It was really a tough job for them to secure this bid. We've been invited, as the chairman of the committee invited us to work with them to basically deliver this. So as contractors, as I said, even though there is no money, nothing there, we are trying to invest so that our people back in the village can, or in the province, or in the districts can actually enjoy the facility we build. So we will go out with our fellow contractors here, the businessmen from the area. We will all put our resources together, try to make sure this game becomes a success. Not only a success, but as we said, a legacy. So facilities that are built are there for the people to use into the future.
All 5 districts have agreed to contribute 200,000 kina to the budget. Sport codes will be held at respective venues throughout the duration of the games. The board has assured that all major roads will be complete to ensure accessibility.
Of course, it will be going up to 8-9 million over the last 3 years. So already the district has come up in the board resolution. Already they put out 200,000 each already as we were having our meeting. So already 1 million is already coming for this year to start planning and getting this done. So we also, in our public-private partnership, also call upon oil sets, PRK, and other bigger companies that are operating in the Southern Highlands. We also know that they have the tax credit scheme and all of the arrangements that are going on for social and facility billing. So we will also, in our board resolution, also seek those avenues where possible. So we are providing the leadership and the planning of the feasibility studies.
We wish the Southern Highlands Board and the province the best in their preparations in hosting the 2018 PNG Games. We go for a few short messages. Up next, stay tuned for our athletes profile and bowling in Port Moresby. you've just joined us, you're watching Hotspot. The recent men's pennants tournament held in Port Moresby saw 18-year-old Gariga Babona compete among some of the finest bowlers in the country. The sport has sparked a following in the nation's capital, and tonight Elijah Lavette joins us with bowling at the Defence Bowling Club.
Bowlers of the club challenged each other at a mixed triples friendly match. Men, women, and even young children took part in the friendly matches. The lawn bowling fraternity has evolved over the years in Papua New Guinea, with the involvement of youths and younger children taking up the sport of bowling. Young 10-year-old Eddie Kiso was also on the bowling green to strut out his stuff. Despite the scorching sun, little Eddie played on after being introduced to the sport by his parents. Men and women from the club were quite pleased to see the increase in young junior bowlers on the green. Lawn Bowl head coach Willie Stephen said this year's team for the Pacific Games has 2 juniors in the train-on squad.
We've done well. Unfortunately, most of our players are on that side of the border. We've got Hagen, Lay, Medang, Goroka, and defence in Port Moresby. So there's a cross section of players we've selected, both men and women. You'll find also the age group. We're blooding 2 juniors who are fortunate enough. Again, we've got the champions of the out of PNG games, the male singles champion and the ladies singles champion. They're also included in the team, and they'll be playing positional. We're very fortunate actually, as the sport itself. We've done well. We've got our people through justification committee, and we've gone through that. Now we're concentrating on the game itself and our training program. We schedule our overseas training as well as the local training. We've done our numbers to 7 men, 7 women. What we got after our trial games. So we're comfortable with the 14 people we have. Now we've got to put them through the phases of international and exposure, especially on. We need to get them onto playing with synthetic surfaces, which is the artificial surfaces. Everyone's so used to the grass. Again, when crunch times, actually playing on synthetics. So synthetics have their own way of playing. It's particular. You got to get involved. We're so used to playing on grass, which is a culture everyone's in Papua New Guinea is playing on. But to play on synthetic, and we're fortunate to actually have a world-class, world-standard synthetic surfaces, which everybody will be playing on, including our visitors coming through here. So the competition is going to be on synthetic. That's why our training, our skills levels will now have to be upgraded to play on synthetic surfaces.
And we do hope you get out there and try your hands at the greens. His name is synonymous in the rugby circle. He's played among some of the greats in rugby union, and tonight we profile rugby union's David Airy.
Yeah, I guess in a sense, I'm just here to help the young guys coming through. I guess add a little bit of experience or give them a bit of a guiding hand. We've got a lot of young guys coming through, and so it'll be good to get a few, I guess, old heads to come in, give them a little bit of pointers about how I guess PNG rugby culture goes about things and how they do their preparations for big events and competitions like SP Games. Dougie and I were there in Samoa, and we did reasonably well. We got a bronze medal there, so we want to bring that sort of experience, that sort of culture into these young guys. A lot of them went to Hong Kong and they experienced a stage that big, and we want to bring that back as well, influence the team members, the new guys that are coming through. Obviously these guys have home ground advantage, so we want to help them as much as possible, lift up their confidence, and hopefully do one better or two better than what we did in Samoa. It's actually going to be quite a proud moment for the young guys, especially who are going to be wearing the jersey and are going to be representing their country on home ground. So we're actually really looking forward to that. We hope, because of the home ground advantage, because of the training that we've been doing, that we come away with results that are favorable to us. I'm actually quietly confident in how these guys have been training, their preparation so far, especially for the tournaments that they've been through. This is by far one of the fitter teams that I've come across, and as I mentioned before, I am quite confident in, quietly confident, sorry, in their performance in the Pacific Games. We were taught to always walk quietly and carry a big stick, and we're going to let our actions, our performances do our talking for us. But ultimately, that is the end goal. That's what we're going to be. That's what we're training for, and we can't lose sight of the bigger picture here. So this is a stepping stone for the team and also for PNG rugby moving forward. The earliest memory, the last time I was, when was it? 91 or 92? I'm not sure, but it was 91. It was around that time at Sir John Guy's. My family and I, my parents took us out there to watch some of the track and field, so that was quite exciting. And to be part of it, you know, coming up this year in a few months' time, it's going to be quite exciting again. I can bring my nieces and nephews and bring them out to Sir John Guy's and watch our guys play, and also support other national teams, hopefully going for gold.
We wish David and the Puk-Puk Sevens the best in their preparations for the Pacific Games. Don't touch that dial. Up next, we preview another round of the Telecom National Soccer League. Welcome back to Hotspot. Before we take a look at what's coming up on another round of the Telkom NSL, PNGFA announced their final squad for the Under-23 men's team this week. Let's take a look.
All of the players in the squad are currently playing in the semi-professional competition, the Telecom National Soccer League, with 14 members from Besta PNG United Football Club. Enoch Maliwolo, Patrick Isa and Jacob Sabua come from Oro FC. However, with poor club performances, this could affect their chances in the final selection. Besta dominate the squad with 14 players, understandably so. The NSL franchise is a development side. Charles Lepani for FC Port Moresby has received more Man of the Match awards as goalkeeper than any other player over the past few seasons. His teammates Basil Jafari and Ethan Yagas on the top of their game. The Komalong brothers have both been named. The elder, Alwyn, has been in a dominant form, while Darren Stephen and Nigel Malagian have also been impressive for Madang. Obet Pika remains the only player from Lay City Dwellers. Like Oro, Hekari have provided 3 players. The difference, however, Emmanuel Simon and Ishmael Pole have had regular game time, and Tommy Sammy is in scintillating form. Peterson Elijah and Rodney Mobiha remain Admiralty's biggest attacking threats, but alongside Oro have had a mediocre season. Coach Ricky Herbert is tasked to assess, assemble, and put the best team forward for the qualifiers for Rio 2016.
Pretty early stages yet, I think. 3 months of preparation still to go, but I think very positive coming off the back of the Solomons. I think it's the first time PNG have won a game there, so I know with New Zealand it was always a difficult place to go, so that's a good step in the right direction for us. But
and we wish the PNG men's soccer team the best in their preparations for the Pacific Games. We now take a look at what's coming up this weekend on another round of the Telecom National Soccer League.
The Telecom National Soccer League this weekend will be a booster for the semi-professional league as it heads into round 11 of this year's season. The semi-finals is just around the corner and all clubs will be eager to secure a spot in the finals. The champions, Ekari United, is certain of a comeback after their return from OFC Champions League, after slipping by a point on the ladder which saw them in second spot behind Lay City Dwellers for the first time. Lay City Dwellers, with the likes of Raymond Guneba and Nigel Debinyaba, will be out there to continue on their impressive form. Medang and FC Pom are the close runners on the ladder and will be taking each other's match as the catalyst. OFC is struggling to survive after they found themselves at the bottom of the ladder in round 11 and will be determined to post points at this stage. This weekend in Port Moresby, Admiralty will take on Lay City Dwellers in the first match of the doubleheader. In the main class of the day, Ekari will meet Medang FC. Over in Ley, the Young Guns Bester United FC will go head-to-head with FC Port Moresby.
Stay with us as we wrap up the show with our weekend draws. We've come to the end of the show. Make sure to tune in on Monday night at 9 p.m. to catch all your sports results with Jeremy and Dion on Sports Scene, and join Lauren for all your Pacific Games update on Road to Port Moresby 2015. Now let's see what's on this weekend on our weekend draws. Kicking off our weekend draws in the Telecom National Soccer League on Saturday in Port Moresby, Hikari takes on Medang FC in the first match of the doubleheader. In the main clash of the day, Admiralty FC will take on Lay City Dwellers. And in Lay at the St. Ignatius Kilagi Stadium, Bester United FC will go up against FC Port Moresby, and Oro are on a bye. In round 2 of the Digicel Cup, Simbu Lions will face Wigmen in Kundiawa, Murks to take on Miox in Mendi. In Mount Hagen, the Hagen Eagles will take on Wagitumbe. At the Graveyard in Kokopo, the Gurias will face Lahanis, and in Ley, Tigers will face the Vipers. In round 8 of the Super Interest Cup, securing a narrow win against Mackay Cutters in Kokopo last weekend, the SB Hunters will be prowling for a win against third-place Burley Brothers in Pizzy Park. Also in round 8 of the NRL, tomorrow night Bulldogs take on West Tigers at ANZ Stadium. For you punters on Saturday, Warriors will face Titans at Mount Smart Stadium, Knights to take on the Cowboys at Hunter Stadium. Roosters will go head-to-head with Dragons at Allianz Stadium. In Melbourne at Amy Park, the Storms take on the Seagulls. And Broncos to face the Eels at Suncorp. Then on Sunday, Panthers take on the Sharks and Rabbitohs to face the Raiders. In AFL, the Easy Loan Premiership sees round 4 of its preseason this Sunday at the University of Papua New Guinea Ovals. The women's division kick-off matches at 9 a.m. when Kague-Erave Magpies take on defending champions Uni Tigers, followed by Lamana Dockers taking on Gordon's Kokofas at 10 a.m. and Gulf Giants to take on Tarama Suns. In the senior men's division, Bomana Cats take on Uni Tigers at 12 p.m. and at 4 p.m. Kague-Erave Magpies face Gordon's Kokofas to wrap up round 4. And in volleyball, the Vailima Cup sees its final on Saturday at Murray Barracks. In the men's division minor semi-finals, Juma Thunders take on MJ Electrical Umiet at 9 a.m. with the preliminary and grand finals to follow at 12 p.m. And in the women's division, MJ Electrical Umiet to face Scorpions at 10:30 a.m. A reminder that if you'd like us to feature you on Hotspot or have us train with you on our special segment, get involved. Please shoot us an email at sports@emtv.com.pg or check us out on Facebook. And if you're in Port Moresby, drop by to Second Floor Garden City and ask for a sports team, and we'll be more than happy to assist you. Do get out there and support your team this weekend. Until next time, play hard, play safe, and we'll catch you right here on Hotspot.